Today I'm going to talk about my favorite Photoshops and Illustrator scripts. First one I'm going to talk about is the magical background remover. So you select the script that is called Magic Background Remover, and it will remove all the white paper from the background from your paintings that you have scanned. So here you can choose if you want to run it on a single file or a folder, and I'll choose a folder where I have some scanned images. These are maybe 20 images. I have another folder with a few more, maybe 25, 30. And I'll click OK. And then I'll select a folder where I want to save the images. And I'll call it Clean Images. And now I just let it run and it will do its thing. And while it's running, you can't really use Photoshop, but you can use other applications. And this one just takes a few minutes to run. And now it's done, and we can take a look at the output. And here are a few of the images now with the background removed. The second script that I'm going to talk about is the Art Mockup Creator, but make it in bulk. So I have created, using AI, some really cool and simple art mockups. I then edited them in Photoshop to make sure they can run with the script. And now I'm going to select the Art Mockup script. And I am going to find where the mockup files are. And there they are, there's about 20 or so mockup files. And I'll select the images that I want to use, and it's those Palm Springs scans that I showed you before. And then I'll select a file where I want to save these art mocks, and I'm going to call it Art Mocks 5. And create this folder and open, and now the script will do its trick and it will show us some stats as the script is running. I'm speeding up this section. It takes a few minutes, and you can work on other applications, not in Photoshop, while it's doing this, or you can go grab some water. And when you come back, you will see the magic that I created. Okay, so now the script has finished running, and it will have a little summary, and you can see it took 6 minutes and 27 seconds, and it created 360 output images. And now let's take a look at what we have and navigate to the folder where we saved our images. And it's Artmocks 5. And here you can see now you have 360 really pretty images that you can use for social media or your blog. The next Illustrator script that I want to talk about is the Recolor script. In this one, you can see it's a file. I have about 12 patterns that I've created, and I've separated the colors in global colors, and each color group is in a different group. And I'll create new color groups that I want to change the colors to. So I'll do new creams, and I'll change it to a gray. So I'll select the lighter end of the color group and the darker end of the color group. So I'll do new greens, and here I'll use coolers to pick some different shades of green. So this will be a light sage, and the dark color will be, let's see, like a darker olive. And I'll get the hex value for that. And I'll do the new blues. And let's pick the light color. And it will be this powder blue, it's called. And I'll get the darker shade as well. And then new pinks. And for that, I'll pick a coral pink. And a darker one will be like a crimson red, which is pretty. And here you go. Now you can see I have 4 color groups. They are not global, but they match in name what I had in the original group. So I have new pinks, new creams, and I had the original with pinks and creams and blues. And now I'm going to run the Recolor watercolor script. And this one runs pretty fast. You don't need to stop anything. And it will just change all the colors. So make sure you save it as a separate file from the original. And you can see all the global colors are now based on the new color groups that we created. You also notice that there are some like buttery yellow shades, like this one, that I didn't put in the global colors. And so those colors do not change. But if I wanted to, I could change them as well. The next script I'm going to talk about is my favorite, is an Illustrator script to export all your pattern blocks. So this file, I have maybe 30 patterns or so that I've created, multiple colorways of the same patterns, and some variations. And I'll choose the script that is called Export Blocks. And this one does take a while to run. And especially if your file has a lot of details in the patterns, it will tell me to select where I want to save the pattern blocks. So I'm saving this in this collection that is called French Summer, and I create a folder called Blocks. I can choose if I want a JPEG and PNG or both on the export. And then I'm speeding the video up here, but really what it's doing, it's opening each of the pattern blocks and then figuring out the size and exporting it in the correct block size. So there are no pesky white lines. They are flawlessly exported. And the great thing about it is you can immediately upload it to Photoshop and use it in a mockup, or you can export them and import them in Spoonflower. Of course, if you created the pattern and there's a white line in the pattern you created, it will still be there. But if you created it properly, it will export properly. And you don't have to click and copy and get clipping masks or anything. It's probably my favorite pattern script to run. And now this part is done. And let's see the output. And on the blocks folder, and you can see all the blocks are there, and you can use them as you please. Here's how I get a bunch of fabric mockups from my surface design patterns really quickly. I have a script that I created that I run on top of some Createsy fabric mockups that I bought on Creative Market. The script is called Fabric Mocks, and once I click Run, it will tell me to choose the folder where I have the script the mockup saved. And it is a series of Createsy mockups. They are great. Then it will tell me to select where the pattern blocks that I want to make into mockups are, and then where I want to save those mockups. And I create a new folder to make sure it will be saved in a different location. And then I just watch the magic happen. And now I can see my script has finished running, and I can take a look at the files that were created. So I go on File, Open in my Photoshop, and select the folder that I asked to save, Fabric Mocks. And here are my patterns, all in beautiful fabrics. In just a few clicks, and I was able to sip my coffee while that was going on. Hope you enjoyed it.